What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Sunday morning edition of Morning Scone. A victorious edition of Morning Scone. Scone. Drew's fired up. Man, what a game. What a game, what a game, what a game. Scone. Oh, dude, you turn on the light. Stop it. Where's my hat? Go find my hat. That's just so funny. Go find Dad's hat that you stole and put somewhere, which we'll probably find in about a month. Somewhere in the deep recesses of this home. Where's my hat? Little dude took my hat and it's gone. Like, I don't know where he put it. It's like, where could Drew go to hide things? I don't. Anyway, all right. What about Mimi? Mimi. All right, let's say some good mornings. I'm going to hit the share button. Hopefully y'all will do the same. That's a big help. Mimi's car. Mimi's car. Mimi takes you to the mall in her car. Yes, she does. Very good. Drew is here, as you can tell also. We're presented by Boudreaux's, the Bloody Mary mix and the Margarita mix. BoudreauxMix.com. What a great day to celebrate an enormous win. Go get you a Bloody Mary this morning. Let's see. We'll say some good mornings. Nick Torina, good morning. Ronald Guitro. Carl the Cat. Carl, I saw you on the video with Fajoko's dad doing the haka. Carl doing this stole the show. Like, everybody's paying attention to the Fajoko's doing the haka, and I'm just looking at Carl the Cat going. Go back and look at the video if you haven't seen the video of the haka. Carl the Cat's right there. That kind of day. Jeremy Landry, good morning. Craig, Christopher, Everett, good morning, everybody. Craig said, about time, been waiting for this. I would have had it sooner. I was having computer issues this morning, so sorry I'm a little late. Mark, good morning. Mike Sylvester, good morning. Danny Brabham, Ray Summers, Brian Robert, golly, good morning, everybody. Jared Oakwin, Leroy Blanchard, Cole, Lil C, what's up? Chuck, good to see everybody this morning. James Pittman, Bruce, 10-2, bit. We'll see, man. LSU, they will be favored against Mississippi State and should win that game. They will not be favored against Alabama and probably shouldn't win that game. But after what you saw yesterday, I wouldn't count them out in any game if they play like that. And I still worry about going to A&M because, as you've seen, A&M is finding a groove, and their run defense is amazing. But at this point, but I'll be curious that maybe LSU might be a small road favorite at A&M, or that game could be close to a pick. But, bro, I'm telling you this, man. When me and Dwayne made that bet, I said LSU, their ceiling this year was 9-3. I thought they couldn't win at Auburn, beat Georgia, or Bama. I thought those were 3 games. So if you lose those 3, win all the rest, you can go 9-3. I figured they'd split. They'd win at Miami, or they beat Miami. They'd lose at Florida, which they did both of those. I figured they'd beat Mississippi State, but lose at A&M. So my big miss so far is Auburn and Georgia, and man, credit to them, man. They were awesome yesterday. We'll talk all about it. Y'all got questions or stuff, comments, fire away. Corey, Eric, Travis McGraw, what's up? Dax, don't mess around, Matt. Go straight to Robert. Forget Elmo Ducks. Some of y'all know it too well, man. Episode 201, by the way. 201 straight days we've done this show, man. So thank y'all for keeping it going. Blake said, once again, every analyst picks the other team, Georgia, and we win again. You know what's interesting, though, Blake? Last week, they all picked LSU on game day. Like, they all picked LSU to beat Florida, and LSU lost. It just, you're right. Typically, when there's a consensus like that, it doesn't go well. Let's see. Man, some of y'all's comments are going so fast. Hong, good morning. What a win. Someone said something about storming the field. I wish they hadn't. I think LSU is way beyond as a program storming the field, but whatever. I mean, I guess those students have their opportunity. LSU's going to get fined for it. You get fined by a conference office if you storm the field. Craig, the comments are scrolling too fast. I got to hurry up. Travis, Washington, Penn State, Virginia, West Virginia. Yeah, man. So you had 4 top 10 teams go down. You had 2, 6, 7, and 8 all go down, and there's going to be no bigger beneficiaries than LSU and, in my opinion, Michigan. I think Michigan's pounding Wisconsin the way they did. Michigan will jump up too, but I think LSU is going to go to 5. I think you're going to have hey. Use your words. Use your words. Base. Okay. I think LSU will be 5 when the polls come out today. I think you'll have Bama, Ohio State, Clemson. No, I think it will go Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, and then the 4 unbeatens, and then LSU. By the way, another unbeaten. Colorado lost last night. Colorado lost at USC late last night. I watched into the third quarter. It was 21-7. I was like, I'm going to bed. Ended 31-20, but USC won and covered. Dax, remember the time I told you someone Georgia Dad show. Oh. Brandon Scott, good morning. Lori, good morning. Carl, I was so fired up after the Haka. Yeah, so Bobby asked the rankings. Yeah, so I figured Michigan will go to 6. I think LSU goes to 5. Michigan goes to 6. Probably Texas will go to 7. And then you can start to fill in the blanks with the teams that lost. Georgia's probably going to fall beyond 8. Maybe they'll go 2 to 8. Georgia will probably go there. Either way, man, what a win. I was thinking about this a lot last night. I might write something for Gridiron now, but iPad. Yep. A lot of people are asking about the ranking. Yeah, 5th. I think LSU should be 5. I was thinking about this last night. Trivia, good morning, good day, bad day for me. I bet my wife LSU wins to shave my beard. Also tried the nastiest beer, Bud Light Orange. Oh, man. State and A&M will be tough games. They will. I mean, look, as you're seeing right now, Casey Landrum said didn't see that coming. Nobody did. Thomas or Pass. Yes, the past Whiskey and Wine videos are all on the 1045 Facebook page. Even go back to last year. You can go see them all. Hey, I'm Mary. Good morning. Rusty, good morning. I'm just here for Drew. LOL, thoughts on the O-line play. Wait, there was something else. Oh, God. The comments are going so fast. There's something else I was starting to say, and I forgot what I was saying. O-line play, I thought it was great. Burrow was sacked 3 times, but I'm not terribly surprised by that. 1 was on the first series of the game. Georgia's got good athletes, and LSU's struggle has been in pass blocking. What was super impressive was how Steve Ensminger was able to establish a run. I thought LSU's running backs ran so hard yesterday. And the most surprising thing of that game. Hey, bud. Drew's got to look off. I thought the most surprising thing yesterday was, so just think about how the game started. LSU gets the ball, go 3 and out. Stuffed on a run, short pass for like a yard, sack, 3 and out. Georgia gets the ball back. They had the pass to Nauta. Jake Fromm has, if you remember the play, first drive, Jake Fromm has, I think it was number 4, Harmon down the left sideline, wide open. He had beaten, I think it was John Battle. No, he had beaten Grant Delpit. He had beaten Grant Delpit down the left sideline. He is wide open, and Fromm just zipped it and airmailed it. I mean, better pass. It's 3 and out LSU, 7-0 Georgia, like that. He misses the pass. Georgia punts. LSU gets the ball back. They put a drive together, kick a field goal. It's 3-0. Georgia gets the ball. Holyfield for 28 yards. Swift for 17. Swift for 12. Holyfield trucks Battle for. Remember on the 17-yard run ran. I mean, Georgia was running it right up LSU's donkey. And they get down around the inside the 20. They stall, start throwing. I have no idea why. And instead of just tying the game, Dada home? Dada is home. Instead of tying the game, Kirby Smart goes for the fake field goal on 3rd and 9. Like I'm all for aggressiveness. I thought Ed Ogeron going for it on 4th down all those times had the domino effect that won the game. I'll talk about that in a second. But base. Kirby Smart, that fake field goal. I know what people say. If it works, it's brilliant. If it doesn't, you're an idiot. But it's I think situational awareness and also recognize it was 3rd and 9. But anyway, LSU gets the ball back after the fake field goal, and that's when they score. Clyde had the 46-yard touchdown, the 46-yard run on 3rd and 1. He broke through. He broke through, and that's another thing. I can't believe he got caught from behind after I talked about his speed. But so LSU's up 10-0 now. Instead of touch pass 7-0 Georgia, now it's 10-0 LSU. But even still, when Georgia got the ball back, remember, like they had been just running right at LSU on the previous drive. Debo. Do you remember what Jim Chaney did? 3 straight incomplete passes. 3 now. Like, they abandoned the run. I was watching this going, are you serious? Like, what is he doing? And then LSU got so far, like you could tell Georgia was so uncomfortable playing from behind. They just completely got out of their game plan when it was 3-0, fake field goal didn't work, 10-0, and then they're like, what do we do? And so for all the talk about how Georgia hadn't been there before and LSU had, it mattered yesterday, man. And I thought LSU's coaches outcoached. Ed going for it on the 4th downs. Ensminger kept Georgia's defense off balance the whole day. In passing situations, running power. Elmo Ducks. The RPOs with Burrow. I mean, that's what sealed it. Was Burrow keeping the ball in the 59-yard run in the RPO. I loved getting John Trey Kirkland involved early, so you knew he wasn't just a decoy. They threw him the bubble screen. They ran jet sweep. There's a million things in this game we could talk about. You only had 2 penalties in the game, none in the first half. Beautiful interception by Christian Fulton. I just thought all the way around, LSU played just a dominant football game. Mistake-free game. You didn't turn the ball over. You committed 2 penalties. The only one, and even the false start by Sadiq, you overcame it. It was you had 1st and 15 after the false start with Sadiq, and you had 3rd and 5, and he hit Jefferson over the middle, just past the stick. So, man, the only other penalty that hurt you was the PI on Greedy. EIO, and I think, let's see where I charted that PI. Yeah, they got the PI on Greedy on their only touchdown drive. And as I look at it, like the only other spot in the game where I felt like it could have turned. There's 2 other spots where I felt like it could have maybe turned. Hey! He stole the remote. He turned the show off. He stole the remote. Hang on. Hey, see. Look, you turn on Netflix. Here. Oh, no, you hit the wrong button. You hit the wrong button, baby. Elmo Ducks. So the only 2 spots. You want ABCs? EIO. You want ABCs? Sorry, y'all. Sorry. The only I'm gonna come to y'all's comments here in a second. I'm sorry for that, but there were two. Aside from the fake field goal, which was absurd, the only two spots in the game where I felt like Georgia had a chance, and LSU just did what Russ Mitchell would suggest. He put their foot in their throat and choked them out. The only two spots where I felt like Georgia had a chance to get back in it. One was at the end of the first half, because we've seen LSU dominate first quarter. So when LSU got up 10-0 and then 13-0, I wasn't surprised. Like, has started strong. Their issue has been teams go tempo. LSU hits an offensive lull into the third quarter as well, and they've got behind. It happened against Auburn, it happened against Florida, and then LSU has rallied late. So it didn't surprise me that Georgia put it together at the end of the first half, and they went tempo, and I thought for sure LSU had a 3rd and 8 and got sacked on their last drive before the end of the first half. That was the play where Burrow just held it too long. Remember, he's rolling left, and he's just holding the ball, and then they get sacked. And so LSU punts, and Georgia gets the ball, and they went tempo, and they started moving the ball for the first time really in the half since the beginning. And LSU bowed their neck, and Georgia had a 3rd and 5, and they threw an incomplete pass and had to punt. And LSU was able to run up the clock. So, that LSU bowed up there at the end of the first half and prevented Georgia from getting points because it was 16-0. If Georgia had gotten points there, like let's say they get a field goal at the end of the first half, and they get the ball started the second half, they had scored, then all of a sudden you're looking at a one-score game. For all the heavy lifting you did because you kicked so many field goals, Georgia would have still been in a spot where they could have made it a one-score game. And you just bowed up, and they got nothing before half. And they got the ball to start the second half, and they got points, they got a field goal, but you take it. And after that, Georgia's next possession was when Fulton got the interception, and then you kicked a field goal there. But that's the other point where the game almost changed. 16-13, Burrow threw a ball into the end zone after the Fulton pick, and it was a bad ball. And I don't know if it was a wrong route, if it was a bad throw, bad read. I don't know because I don't know the play call, but it looked bad. And the Georgia defender went up and just knocked the ball down. It looked like a little more presence of mind. The kid could have intercepted it in the end zone, and that would have been a point at 16-3 that Elmo Ducks, where Georgia sort of reestablishes the position, would have had starting the second half to inch closer. Instead, LSU gets points. They make it 19-3. That put pressure on Kirby to feel like he had to go for 2 whenever they did score. Elmo Ducks. Anyway, it was one of those. I described it on Whiskey and Wine with Jordy. It was one of those things where it felt like LSU threw Georgia on the ground, and every time they tried to get up, just kicked them right back down again. It was like, you're not getting up. Sorry, you're not getting up. And it was dumb. So I think, hey bud. I think that is LSU's biggest win since the 2011 Bama win. I think I gave a lot. I thought about this a lot last night. Like, was there a bowl game? I thought about, beating South Carolina in 2012 when they were ranked 3rd. I thought about some of the wins over Auburn. They beat Ole Miss in 2014 when they were number 3 in the country. I don't think I don't think LSU's had a win this big since the game of the century in 2011. Ernie, you want to be Elmo and Ernie? Ernie, Elmo and Ernie. Houston Simon said, I want you to have to pay Dwayne from Thibodeau $500 so bad. Hey, man, if it means LSU beats Bama, if LSU wins out, look, if LSU wins out, they're in the playoff. I mean, it's not even a conversation. God, I would love it, man. I'd happily pay Dwayne $500 for that. But if it comes down to like if let's say they lose to Bama, or they lose next week against State, whatever, and it comes down to like the A&M game, and it's my $500, and whatever decent bowl game, I'll keep my $500, bro, and take his. Derek's the best play call we've seen yet. I completely agree. I thought Ensminger was awesome. Darren Hess, good morning. Fresh Market. We can go there later. Derek Thomas, good morning. Let's see, what's up, Matt? Y'all set the Georgia Bulldogs into doghouse whimpering. Great game. Dude, it was that, man. It was one of those beautiful circumstances where you had the right game plan. The coaches made all the right decisions at the right time. And the players executed it perfectly. And Georgia just didn't know how to respond to any of it. John Wagley, good morning. Yeah, Drew. Steven, Matt, I need that drop by Russ. Dude, I was talking to Russ last night, man. He was funny. Despite common perception of Russ Mitchell, he has some ties to this area. Let's just say that. Dax, good morning. Let's see. This is what happens when you take the ball out of Robert's hands. Take the ball out of Robert. Oh, you're talking about him making me change a bunch. Let's see. Jackie, when you don't have superstars like Fournette or guys, you spread the juice around. Jackie, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Because that's being dismissive of having someone like that. And I would much rather have a Fournette or a Geis. I think the problem is the last OC was very narrow-minded in his approach to games and relied too heavily on his power running game and didn't spread the ball around. I don't think that means you can't. I mean, you can have superstar running backs and spread the ball around. Alabama's a great example of that. Georgia's a good example of that. I think you just have to have a play caller who knows how and is willing to do it. And you have it now. Brandon Durr, good morning. Corey Gotro, Reese Avance. Let's see, Jerry says, George should have stayed the running game. That's the thing that I can't believe. In the first quarter, Georgia was averaging 8.6 yards per carry. I mean, LSU couldn't stop it. They could not stop Georgia from running the ball. And Georgia just stopped running. They got behind. They're like, okay, I guess we just got to throw it. And Fromm I thought Aranda's plan was brilliant. They brought pressure a bunch, but usually they only rushed 3 or 4 and dropped everybody else into coverage and just made Fromm hold on to the ball and try to fit passes into tight windows, and he just couldn't do it. It was just a really, really good game plan, man. Andrew Baer, good morning. Richie said, time to adjust your record predictions, Matt. I think I've already done that, Richie. I mean, good Lord. I didn't think they beat Auburn. So, but the Auburn and Georgia games are the two, I'm telling you how I picked the season. I had them losing 5. I had them losing Florida, Georgia, Bama, and then splitting. I had them winning at Miami, losing at Florida, beating Mississippi State, losing at A&M. Winning the home games, losing the road games. So, man, I think they'll beat State. I think they'll beat State. I think State found itself a little against Auburn, and Auburn's a whole other story. But what State did against Auburn was they turned Nick Fitzgerald back into a runner. And instead of Moorhead trying to make him a passer. And I think their offense is much more effective that way. So I think State provides some challenges, but they're also one-dimensional. I think LSU can crowd the line, play the run, and try to win one-on-ones in the pass game, and I don't think Fitzgerald can beat him throwing the football. So I think LSU wins next week at home. You could worry about the letdown a little, but I think that's one of those games where, man, you pop on the tape of Mississippi State and they're going to get your attention real quick because they've got, like, this state team is comparable to that team with Dak in 2014. Veteran line, good running backs, really good defensive line, good linebackers. Probably not as good in the secondary, but this is. But this is a game LSU should win. Absolutely should win. See what they can do against Bama. I mean, it'd be so good. Let's see. Bet. Chris Roy, I thought LSU really did a good job of limiting mistakes, and Georgia did not. Still mind-blowing. Kirby ran the fake. Chris, I'm with you. In that moment, again, I know what it sounds like because if it works, he's a genius and all that. But it's like, pick your spots in that moment in the first quarter. Like, why are you trying to steal a possession? Like, you got a great kicker. Just take the points on the road. And anyway, Larry said, "Love the discipline, hard-nosed football." It was such a difference from a week ago, where I thought Dan Mullen and Todd Grantham had a great game plan against LSU, and I thought Kirby Smart and his staff should turn in their company cars, bro. They got, like, Ed Ogeron and his staff coached circles around Kirby Smart, Jim Chaney, and Mel Tucker, and it was not even close. James, great win for the program. Tiger Stadium was electric. Sounded like it on TV for sure. Robin said, "Why do you think A&M will beat LSU?" Robin, these were just my picks before the season. I mean, we may get to the game in a month from now, 6 weeks from now, and 6 weeks from now, and things may happen that make me change my mind. But before the season, I figured A&M with Jimbo Fisher would be the most improved team in the SEC. And especially from week 1 to week 12, that they would just keep doing this because Jimbo's a great quarterbacks coach. I figured he'd maximize Kellen Mond, which I think you've seen. And I really liked Mike Elko, their defensive coordinator. LSU saw them last year in the bowl game, and that was a great hire. They tried to get Dave Aranda. When they couldn't get Dave, they hired Mike Elko from Notre Dame. And Mike Elko's a great young defensive mind, and I thought he'd make them better instantly, and they are. If you haven't noticed, I mean, A&M has the number 1 rush defense in the SEC. And you could say, well, who have they played? Well, they played Clemson, they played Bama, they played Kentucky. I mean, that's no easy shakes. And they still have the number 1 rush defense in the conference. They're good. I mean, A&M is legitimately good. I think that the days of them being awful are gone. I mean, we may get to that game, and there could be injuries that affect a pick on that. But if you're asking me before the season why I thought that's why I picked a road game. That's why I picked A&M in that game. Thank you, Dustin. Let me clarify that. So the last OC you're talking about, Cameron or Canada? Cameron. I'm sorry. That's a Freudian slip, I guess. I've inadvertently flushed Matt Canada from my brain. Boy, they're struggling too, man. Although they won, yes, they beat Rutgers yesterday. Let's see, Robert. Good morning, Ryan. When was the last time LSU has let the quarterback make as many decisions as Joe Burrow? Matt Flynn. Seriously, Matt Flynn. Maybe Jarrett Lee in 08 under Wizard Croton. But after 08, the whole thing changed. Derek's definitely tell we missed Chasson this year. It did, man. But I'll tell you what, man, Divinity had a beautiful sack yesterday. Beautiful spin move on that sack. Steven's sack was a covered sack. That's like 95% on Fromm, and the other one was Logan. That was another covered sack where LSU's rushing 4, and Fromm just holds on the ball, and Logan kept pushing and grinding, got to him. Chris Roy, Swift 12 for 72, Holyfield 7 for 56, wanted to throw a bunch with a quarter. Like, Chris, that's so spot on, man. Like, their running backs, when you negate the sack yardage, their running backs were averaging 5-6 yards a pop at the end of the game, and they just. I mean, I'm not complaining, man, at all. I just couldn't. I'm watching that, and I just couldn't believe it. And then they start rotating Fields in, and I'm going, what in the hell? Or like for one play, like they started their last drive of the second quarter with Fields. They brought Fields back in their last drive of the third quarter as well for one play, and then they brought Fromm back in. So Fromm hit an auto. That was ended up being their touchdown drive. Yeah, whatever. Good riddance, Georgia. See you again in a decade. I mentioned Jacob asked where they go in the polls. I've said it a few times. I think they go 5. I think you'll have the 4 unbeaten. I think you'll have Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, then LSU. I don't think there's any bigger beneficiary of those top 10 losses than LSU. What are you doing? This is Drew's new thing now. This long extended, like he'll just do it for as long as he has breath in his lungs.
Mama.
What? Did you turn? What did you do? What did you do? We're gonna turn that off. Oh my God, Drew. Fresh Market. Did you turn on a filter again? Oh my God. I told you, like, he's learned now that he's not just hitting the screen. I can see all of your like smiley, laughy faces and thumbs up and all that stuff now. He's learned he's not just hitting the screen like to annoy me or get my reaction. Like he's learned he can do stuff when he touches. Like he can turn on the light, he can flip the camera, he can find those filters. So yeah, I'm glad y'all think it's hilarious. Derek talking about Fitzgerald, not the passer Dak was at all. That's true, but Dak wasn't a great passer in college either, man. That was Mullen schemed passes for them. And the other thing is Dak had to run Wilson, and Bear Wilson was a big old 6'5" guy where, he had that giant catch radius where if he threw it within that radius, Wilson was going to come up with those catches. He was really good. Stephen Miller, LSU is legitimately good. Absolutely. Yeah, they are. And you know what, Steven? Fresh Market. A lot of people perceived me picking this team 7-5 as crapping on the program, which wasn't the case. I just looked at all the questions they had, which were plentiful, against that schedule and figured, yeah, I don't know how many times it's said if they had Bama's schedule where you trade Florida and Georgia for Tennessee and Missouri, that I'd have LSU at 9 or 10 wins. But the point that I made so many times, look at 2019, because you will get every single person on this team right now, all of them. They are all back next year except for John Battle and Garrett Brumfield. That's it. That's all you lose. Everybody else is back. 19? Dude, I got goosebumps thinking about it. 19 is like LSU will be, regardless of what happens today through the rest of the year, 19 LSU will be preseason top 5 with like playoff aspirations. You could have circled like before the season 19 as okay, that's their year to make that run. Like this feels premature, but it's so much fun to watch. Like it's fun to watch a team come of age more quickly. You know what? Real quick, one quick addendum to what I just said. Obviously, you're going to lose Devin White and Greedy Williams. I shouldn't be dismissive of that, but obviously you're going to lose those guys to the draft. Okay, so yes. But amazing. Brissett too. Brissett's a senior. Sorry. Y'all laughing at that filter. Let's see. Brooke, good morning. Let's see. Craig Sanwell said, what the heck? I guess, so I'm looking at the number of people watching right now. It looks on my screen, it says 188. So normally, on a weekday on Morning Scone, we probably have 40 or 50 people watching live. But it's funny because the number will build to 1,500 or so throughout the day as people find it on their feeds later in the day. But I guess there's a lot of people are watching live right now, and so don't maybe or haven't seen this for the first time. So good morning to all of you who are watching for the first time. But yeah, so Drew will find those filters and hit them from time to time. Like I ended up with a tiger face a couple days ago. Let me also remind you, Boudreaux's Bloody Mary mix, margarita mix, great opportunity to classic Drew. Great opportunity today on this this celebratory Sunday to go get you a Bloody Mary in Baton Rouge at Calandro's, Calvin's, Alexander's, Mid-City Craft Wine and Brew. Who am I missing? Canada's down in Homa. I feel like I'm missing one. Or you can go to boudreauxmix.com and order there. Order a whole case. Just order a case and leave it, put it in your pantry, bring it to your office. Not that you want to be drinking Bloody Marys at the office, but you'll pass it out to friends. Great local company. Let's support a great local company. I'm happy to endorse those guys. Let's see. Back to your comments. Drew just bedazzled the crap out of you. Ralphie. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ralphie, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Leroy, any notable injuries? Not that I know of, man. The you saw Ed Alexander go down with cramps again, but he came back in. I think they stayed really healthy, and that's going to be key, moving forward, obviously. Hey, Tamara Palmer, good morning. Everybody thought that. I'm just getting through the comments about the filter. Let's see. Kirby Smart, we'll get with Nick Saban today to find out where did I go wrong. Bro, that was a bad look by Georgia. Joey, they'll keep Georgia ahead in the AP poll just like Florida last week. No, I disagree, Joey, because the difference is both teams. Florida was coming from behind. Let's see, LSU. Where was LSU? LSU had gotten up to 8, or were they 7? What were they? Now I'm trying to remember. Polls don't matter, but Florida was coming from further behind. I think LSU will absolutely leapfrog Georgia today. A close road loss at Florida relative to being blown out by LSU. There's no way anybody with a ballot. Uh-oh. You just completely wiped out my camera, bud. Yep. Down goes Frazier. Thank you. Hi. Are you saying hi to everybody on the phone? Fresh Market. Hey, use your words, okay? We don't fuss. Fresh Market. Speaking of which, Fresh Market, why don't you carry Boudreaux's? Got my kid up here saying Fresh Market every day. He likes to walk around your store, give you enough free shout-outs. You should be carrying Boudreaux's, Fresh Market people. Whatever. Let's see. Okay, now I'm getting back. Yeah, okay. I'm getting to the comments now where y'all were when I was talking about the people that are leaving. But yes, obviously the underclassmen that are going to go. Let's see. Jeremy Crawford said Devin and Greedy are both sophomores. No, they're not. Devin White's junior, but Greedy is a draft-eligible sophomore because he redshirted his first year. So you have to be out of high school 3 years to be draft-eligible. So Greedy is gone. Those of you who are saying Devin or Greedy's a sophomore, he's a third-year sophomore, like Brockers. Michael Brockers was a third. Trey Turner was another one. Guys that redshirted their freshman year, played as redshirt freshmen and left after their third year. It's really why you're seeing more and more coaches when they recognize players aren't going to be 4 or 5 year guys. That you run them out there, you play them now. Drew said, Matt, what's up with Clyde getting caught from behind? I talked about it earlier, Drew. On the 46-yarder, it was LSU's third possession, their first touchdown possession of the game when Burrow scored on the sneak. Clyde had the 46-yarder in that drive, and so when they reviewed it, Clyde had the 46-yarder. I could not believe he got caught from behind, man. There's the first thing that went into my brain. I went, ugh. After all I've been talking about Clyde with his speed, he gets caught from behind. Did you see Geist tweeted when Clyde got caught? He was like, Geist tweeted, he's like, Clyde, he's like, He's like, Clyde, what you doing? He's like, Clyde, I'm going to hit you. Go back and look at Geis's Twitter. You'll see it. I'm telling you, man, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know how he got caught from behind that run. Like, I've seen that kid. Like, he's legit fast. I don't know if he just was looking behind him or what, or he had Usain Bolt catching him from behind. I don't know, man, but I was shocked he got caught from behind. Let's see. Washington State, Oregon, 10-2. Let's see. Oh, y'all talking about game day next week? Yeah, they're going to Pullman for Washington State. Carrie, going to try to ask again because I'm curious to hear your thoughts. When is the last time you saw LSU outcoach a team like Georgia by a mile on such a big stage? Mom. I've seen LSU do it defensively a bunch.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3. I mean, look, sometimes we lose context as seasons go along and things change. So, like, Miami lost yesterday, so the Miami win doesn't seem as big anymore. But the way, I mean, I thought LSU completely outclassed and outcoached Miami in the opener this year. It's happened a bunch, but it's like, how many of those do you remember in hindsight, right? It's a good question. I understand the question, but I think it happens more often than we remember, just because as time passes, as the season goes along, we lose context. Like at the beginning of the season, LSU Miami was a top 10 matchup. Like, people are still saying those are top 10 wins for LSU, like that and Auburn. Well, Miami lost yesterday to a not good Virginia team, so like some of the luster is worn off that Miami win. Auburn is obviously not a great team. I don't think, but it doesn't matter. Like, you still went on the road and you made plays in a hostile environment to win a road game. You understand? But, like, in both of those situations, I thought LSU outcoached their opponent on a huge stage. Elma Ducks. Okay, Elma Ducks. Like, I don't think there's any question. Like, this coaching staff this year has done an awesome job. They just have. There's like, they've been. Robert, you want Robert? Okay. Someone said I should have put Robert on here a long time ago. There he is. Here goes Robert. He's got Robert now. All is right in the world. Let's see. Cassidy Russo, good morning. Justin Hudson, good morning. Scott Zachary, good morning. Let's see. Akeem, did the Unicorn Moss play? I did not see Thad Moss get in. Let me check. I'll check participation report real quick to let you know if he got in, but I did not see him in the game. I thought Foster Moreau played a really good game. Dude, you want to know, like, one other thing? You know what's, like, just to go show you the attitude, like, the attitude LSU played with yesterday? Man, when Georgia scored, I'm sorry, when LSU scored, when Burrow scored his last touchdown to make it 26-9, LSU kicks off and they squib it. Remember, they didn't want to give up. They squib kick it. Did you see who came up with the ball? Like, the refs are under the pile. Like, go watch it. Avery Atkins, the kicker, dives into the scrum and just rips the ball away from those big dudes fighting for it. I mean, it was stunning to see the kicker get in there, like, and physically, aggressively just rip the ball away from those people. I was like, holy, look at that kicker swag, man. It was awesome. Oh, it was awesome. All right, hang on. He did not play. Moss did not play. He dressed, did not play. Let's see. Let's see. Keith, good morning. Clayton Wolf, Brett Cutcher, good morning. Leah Smith, good morning. Nicholas Butler. Jerry said, just take care of business next week. Then worry about paying. I agree with you, Jerry. And I don't. Drew has one of my shirts on his head. And I think he just ran into the wall. He just ran into the wall. Oh, buddy. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, it's okay. I know you've scared yourself. We can go to Fresh Market later. Yep, we can do that. We can do that. Okay. Hey, do you want to look at that show? Is that Dad's show? Say hi, everybody. Oh, it's okay. Hey, oh, it's so cute. It's okay. It's okay. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Question for you. I have a question for you. Hey, I have a question for you. I have a question. Do you want more? Fresh Market. You want more Fresh Market? Okay. Okay, we'll get more Fresh Market later. Okay. Very good. Now don't put my shirt on your head and fall down and walk into a door again. Okay. I saw him walking across, like he had taken one of my shirts. It was like over his head, like a ghost. And he just like walked into the wall. It's never dull here, ever. Like it's just never boring. Ever, ever, ever boring here. Oh gosh. Andrew said Auburn's not looking like a big win anymore. And neither is Miami, but it's okay. Like you keep doing you, you're good. People talking about Tua with a sprained knee. Yeah, I know he had injured it before this past week. He re-injured it on a seemingly benign play, just kind of sliding and whatever. But the good news for Bama is the entire month of October for them is like a cakewalk. That they have Tennessee this week, so that he can sit versus Tennessee. He'll have the bye, and then LSU. They can basically give him 3 weeks to get right. I mean, which I'm sure they'll do. Let's see. Josh Toops is Delpit, a sophomore. He's a sophomore. Fresh Market. And Delpit's a true sophomore, so he has to come back another year. Ashley Leotis, good morning. Shannon, good morning. Let's see. How nice would it be to be able to have the Florida loss back? Joey, here's the thing. Yes. But if you start playing that game, you can play both ways. Because Auburn is probably looking at the LSU game going, man, how nice would it have been if Gus kept running tempo, or if we didn't have 30 yards and pass interference calls on LSU's game-winning drive. And if that's the case, then you probably have a loss to Auburn too, and there were 2 losses. So you see what I'm saying? Like, that plays both ways, man. It's just when you play a tough schedule, sometimes those are going to go your way, sometimes they're not going to go your way, especially on the road. You lost a close game in Auburn. You managed to win. You won a close game in Auburn. You lost a close game in Florida. It happens. Fresh Market. So you know what I mean? It's like 6 inches one way, but if it was 6 inches the other, it's not even close. You know what I mean? So I understand your point, but that's the nature of this. Like if you start doing the what if game, it cuts both ways. Let's see. Someone said Moss was in jeans on the sideline. That's surprising. I know Fresh Market. I know they had his jersey on pads. I was told in the locker room before. Gordy told us that they had Moss's jersey and pads like ready to go. So that's surprising, man. Let's see. LSU better get another kicker to replace Cole next year. That's true, man. Like, doesn't that just underscore, like, the difference from last year to this year and having a kicker that you trust? I mean, your kid went 5 for 5 yesterday. I mean, Cole scored 18 points, 5 field goals, and 3 PATs. Cole Tracy scored 18 points for you yesterday. Fresh market. Adrian said 50,000 for rushing the field. Start a GoFundMe. Isn't it 25? I thought it was 25 for the first offense, and then 100 or like 125 after for this, for subsequent, within like a 4-year span or something like that. Let's see. Joey, the boys had major chip on their shoulder, no doubt. Yesterday was so fun to watch, man. Like, they went in just with a different attitude, and Georgia wasn't ready for it. Travis, UCF is going to win another natty. Ron Hernandez, good morning. Let's see. UCF going back to back. It's okay, Drew. I've done that drunk once a bunch of times. Oh, man. Rhett said, Matt, I love when LSU goes tempo on offense. We got most of our big run plays going tempo. I absolutely agree. They, same thing last week against Florida. LSU went tempo and scored. I love when they first showed it that I remember against Ole Miss, and when they've showed tempo, it's worked, and they've executed it really well. I think the problem, it's not with tempo, it's if you go tempo and you go 3 and out, you very quickly put your defense back on the field. So I think you have to pick your spots, especially because LSU doesn't have a deep defensive line rotation. And yesterday specifically, when Georgia was lining up and running at LSU, they were running over LSU. So it's like, and you gave up 200 rush yards to Florida. I mean, you can see how that at times has been a problem. So I'd love to see more of it. But I also understand, like, Steve Ensminger is doing the right thing by, like, Fresh Market. Oh, I thought you wanted, what am I doing? We'll go to Fresh Market, yep. But I also think Steve is doing the right thing and, like, picking his spots when to use it, when he feels like his defense is rusted. Because you can't do it the whole game unless if you have the bodies 1 to 85 in all the spots you need them to be able to rotate. Like, you can't. I mean, that's the Chip Kelly offense when you're just tempo all the time, and that's why I mentioned it before, but that's why Chip Kelly always needed to score 70, because if they couldn't slow down that offense, it ceases being effective, So anyway, so just go and score and score and score and give your defense as much of a cushion as they need. Let's see. Jake, the second wave of crying is always louder. Oh, man. Catherine, you love his PJs. What's he wearing? I don't even know what he's wearing. Rhett, good morning. Mark, good morning. 1920 is really good. Fresh Market. Fresh Market. Frema. All right, let's see. Akeem, next year we're going to be so good. Hopefully we get Ingram back. And with the top 5 recruiting class, Burrow comes back. I don't think there's any doubt Joe Burrow's coming back. Like, that would be, to me, stunning if he left. He could, but there's just no. I'll ask on Thursday. I'll ask Mike Detillier about that. I'll ask him about Burrow as far as a draftable prospect this year. I think we forget too, man. The guy's played now 7 games. He started 7 games in his college career, and yes, there have been guys that were first-year starters that had a great year and jumped. Like sort of strike while the iron's hot. I just don't think that he's going to be that guy right now. I think he's a really good college quarterback, but as far as a next level prospect, I don't know if he's that yet. But I'll lean on guys like Mike who do that sort of stuff and ask him. Jason Stutes, what's up, dude? Fresh Market? What do you want? Fresh Market? There's no show for Fresh Market. What do you watch? Oh, you're watching Robert. You're watching Robert. Anyway. Let's see. Mark Populus. Good morning. Go damn Tigers. Indeed, man. What a day. Ugh. Jerry, Fresh Market needs a sponsor show. They get shout out, don't they? And I tell people all the time, go to Calandros. Calandros are my people, man. Especially for whiskey. I mean, they got the best selection in town. Awesome people. So don't go. They go to Calandros, and Calandros has Boudreaux. So go to Calandros. Pete, is there a time frame on Chasson's return? He's out for the year, Pete. So he'll play next year. He tore his ACL, so he'll rehab that this whole year and off season. He'll play next year. Dustin is Hurts wanting to redshirt. No, Dustin, he's not. He's already played more than 4 games, so he can't redshirt. Duke, did you see Duke yesterday? There's a dog in the neighborhood named Duke, and when we go walking, Drew loves when Duke's out because he'll run all around, and Drew loves to watch him. Let's see. Matt got money to shop at Fresh Market. I should have put it to radio. Hey, man. Mostly, hey, Lori Smith, good morning. Mostly, we just walk around Fresh Market because Drew likes to just walk around Fresh Market. But Erica buys, like every week, she'll buy like fruits and vegetables and stuff. So we'll either go, usually someplace near the house, but sometimes like if Drew just wants to, like if he really wants to go to Fresh Market, we'll go over there. Because I'll just put him in a stroller and we'll just walk him around the store for 20 minutes. He just loves to see everything going on. Jerry Divinity had a huge sack. He did, and it was it was a big spot too. It was Divinity's sack was. Okay, Logan got the sack on. Yeah, it was 3rd and 9. It was on the first drive. LSU had 2 sacks on that first drive. So Logan got the sack, but on 3rd and 11, they threw that ball to Hardman, and he converted. Oh, he took it off. He had that shirt on his head again. I was going to show y'all what he was doing. He thinks it's so funny. Yeah, but they threw that ball. They had 2nd and 19, made it 3rd and 11. They converted with the pass to Hardman. They had 3rd and 9, and that was when they kicked the field goal. And that's when Divinity got the sack. And they converted there, maybe it was because again, that was so big at 16-0, and you're feeling like if they get a touchdown there, it's a 1-score. You can make it a 1-score game with a 2-point. Like now you have a game, and to come up with that sack, force a field goal, maintain the lead at 2 scores. Yeah, it was big. It was big. Jason, good morning. How much of South Louisiana is hunting this morning? Great win. I have no idea, man. I don't hunt, so I have no idea. Is that something people do after wins? I don't know. Chris, repeat where you think they'll be ranked. I think LSU's 5th. I think you have Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame. LSU will be 5th as the first 1-loss team. And I think Michigan is 6th. And then probably Georgia 7th. And I think Texas 8th probably. Unless if all of those schools go up and then Georgia goes to 8 or 9. Which could happen after a loss like that, man. Let's see. Chris Roy makes a difference when you actually have a special teams coach. No doubt. I got a good one. How about Josh Growden? That's another thing we haven't talked about. Josh Growden's pooch punt put Georgia down at the 3-yard line. They've just pushed all the right buttons. It's been fun. Brett, is LSU a lock for top 5? I wouldn't say they're a lock, Brett, but I'd be really surprised. I mean, I guess theoretically they could put Michigan at 5 and LSU at 6. But I think after the way LSU beat Georgia, I mean, look, Michigan pounded Wisconsin yesterday, but LSU pounded number 2. Michigan pounded number 12. So, I think they're going to be all right, or 15. Let's see. How about Burrow juking that defender? It was pretty funny on the 59-yard run. He can move, man. Ain't no doubt. CJ Booker, good morning. Let's see. Derek said we beat Bama. Tiger Stadium will explode. Earthquake game 2. Yeah, man. LSU's waited a long time for that. If they play like they did yesterday, they'll have a shot. There's no question. Justin Jefferson is the best Jefferson by far. He came in the most ready to play for sure. UCF in the playoffs. Get out of here. now y'all are getting crazy talking about UCF and Todd Peterson. We may be done with this. When is the game rebroadcast? Got to see it again. Check the SEC Network schedule. Or if CBS puts their games on demand, I don't know if they do. But SEC Network, a lot of times of the week, will rebroadcast games. So I'd say check SEC Network. Wait, you said all the crying last year, they'll find a way to get them in this year. You're talking about Central Florida? Central Florida's not making the playoff. There's no shot. Like 0% chance of Central Florida making the playoff. 0. The committee will never put in a group of 5 team. The only way that will ever happen, ever, is if a group of 5 team goes undefeated and schedules 4 Power 5 non-conference games away from home, which they will never do. But until they do, they'll never play. Like, you can't win 1 Power 5 game on a schedule of 12 games and expect to be in the playoff. You can't do it because you've got 60 other teams that are playing 9 Power 5 opponents and putting it out there on the line every week. You're not playing the same game. So, no, Central Florida has a 0% chance of making the playoff this year. Like, 0. No shot. They will not make the Central Florida will every other team could have a loss. Central Florida will not make the playoff. Let's see. Hang on. Travis McGraw set up 4-2 Nicholson packed. Yeah, tailgating yesterday was good. It's good to hear, man. Been a while, man. Long time coming to see a day like that out at LSU. Here's hoping I'll do it again next week. Never to have a lot of spots. I don't know what that means. Mickey said, jumping in again, not sure if y'all mentioned Jim Taylor. Please do. Great human, wonderful representative of LSU. He did love LSU. Mickey, we talked about it a bunch yesterday in the pregame show because the news broke while we were on air. You know what? I think I probably told this story before, but if y'all can see, like, that picture right there, that's me and Jim Taylor. I'll show you. So when he wrote his book, let me find it. I have it here, I'm pretty sure. Where is it? Of course, I'm trying to find it. Oh, come on. Can't find it. It's up there somewhere. Are you kidding me? Anyway, when Jim Taylor wrote his book, he came on my show, we promoted it, and we talked a bunch on the phone. I can't believe I can't see it. Where's that book? Fresh Market. Anyway, so I met him that year at Taste of Tiger tailgating. And, hey, don't touch that. And so when I introduced myself, such a nice guy. Bless you. And I noticed when we were talking that he had a ring on. And, you know, he played for the Packers in Super Bowl I. So I was like, is that your Super Bowl I ring? And he said, you have to put this on. So, and I came to find like he did that so many times throughout his life because he understood how cool it was. So that's a picture of me and Jim Taylor, and that's me wearing his Super Bowl I ring. If y'all can see it, but anyway, so I have that framed. I think it's really, really cool. I keep it up here on my shelf. So he was always very, very nice and kind to me, as he was to everyone. You know, just a great guy, great representative who loved LSU. So, condolences to his family. He was 83, died yesterday. So, for sure, man. Anthony Rodriguez, how'd you like that Eagle Rare last night? It was good, man. Went down smooth, especially after a win. Let's see. Any more? Michael Cooper, ESPN hates LSU. What else is new? Michael, are you trying to set me off this morning? Like, is that your intention? ESPN does not hate LSU. Announcers do not hate your school. Trust someone who lives and works in that environment every single day. Announcers don't hate your school. Gary Danielson doesn't hate your school. ESPN doesn't hate your school. You are an impossibly biased human. And that's normal. Like, you love your school and your team and you want them to win. And you're looking at everything through purple and gold glasses. And you are so far on an extreme as a fan, you can't understand when people make decisions based on business practices and they look at something in the middle because you're way over here. And even though they're in the middle because you're way over here, they look like extremists when the reality is you are operating on the fringe. ESPN does not hate LSU. CBS does not hate LSU. The SEC office does not have it out to get LSU. That's the reality of this. And I know that I'm pissing in the wind here. I understand that because it's not gonna settle in. But I feel like it's my duty to tell people, like, ESPN doesn't hate your school. Whoever your school is, ESPN doesn't hate them. I promise. I promise you. ESPN is a business that wants to make money. They don't hate your school. Robert. Did Robert win? Robert, did he win? Fresh Market. Oh, God. ESPN will find every excuse to doubt our Tigers. Do you realize that everybody on game day picked LSU last week to beat Florida? Across the board, they all picked them. ESPN does not hate your school. Kirk Herbstreit does not hate your school. Desmond Howard, Lee Corso, they do not hate David Pollock. They do not hate your school. Paul Feinbaum does not hate your school. I don't hate your school. They'll doubt our Tigers. No. Fast. You want Robert again? Like, please stop worrying. Please, I'm begging you. Stop worrying about what ESPN thinks about your school. Just be so excited that your team won a huge game yesterday. Beat the crap out of the number 2 team in the country, team that played for the national championship last year. Like, one of the teams perceived to be, building a giant right now. Like, please stop thinking like that people hate your team. Just be super psyched that y'all won, that your team won, that you control your own destiny in the SEC. You got a home game against State this week that if you win, you set up a gigantic match against Alabama. I mean, just be psyched and don't worry about what. Anyway, Charles Alexander's watching. How about? So I just showed you. How about this? I just showed y'all my Jim Taylor picture. How about my mini helmet signed by Alexander the Great? Charles Alexander, number 4. That's my guy, man. Speaking of which, y'all go buy some of Charles Alexander's Come On Man Cajun seasoning. You can find it in a lot of stores all over Baton Rouge, but it's also now in Academy Sports. Charles Alexander, my guy. Y'all go buy some Come On Man Cajun seasoning. While you're at it, buy some Boudreaux's Bloody Mary Mix, Margarita Mix. Oh, we've been going over an hour now, huh? Someone asked about D. Anderson. I was told that was discipline. Nothing like off the field or like anything legal. Nothing like that. It was discipline while they sat him this week. Just like an in-house disciplinary thing. Nothing major. It's not long-term. It's just one game. Fulton had a breakout game. He did, Jeff. He played awesome. Do you think the Longhorns and Aggies rejuvenation directly affect recruiting? It's a good question. Probably. Yeah, probably. If nothing else, it makes it more difficult to go, make inroads in Texas. Mark Allen, seen Emory sucking up to Coach O now. He was there yesterday. It'd be great to get him, man. What's up, Morning Scone? Gotta love when the Saints and LSU win the same week, no doubt, man. Let's see. James said, I know 2011 was really one of the best LSU seasons. If LSU managed to win out, could this be it? I know it's unlikely. Well, so talked about it a bit ago. LSU's going to be favored this week against State. They'll be a home underdog to Alabama. And they should be. I'm not saying they can't win it, but they're going to be a home underdog. They'll be a favorite at Arkansas against Rice, and I think the A&M, LSU will either be a slight, like a field goal favorite, or that'll be a pick 'em. So could they do it? I mean, if they played the way they did yesterday against Alabama, and Bama comes in and turns the ball over and LSU could win that game. I mean, I'll keep going back to 2014. I think 2014 was Les Miles' worst team. They had talented players, but their talent was young. Fournette and Jamal Adams and all the Gotcha and all those guys were freshmen on that team. And they just counted a lot on them. And they had Harris or Jennings at quarterback, and it was just that was probably Les's weakest team. And they brought number 1 Alabama to overtime and really should have won the game, but for the 15-yard penalty that affected the kickoff. So yeah, I mean, can LSU? Yeah, I mean, every time that Bama's been in Tiger Stadium in the Saban era, it's been close. 08 went to overtime. 10 LSU won. 12 was the Yeldon play. 14 went to overtime. 16 was 10-0. Yeah, I mean, they will play. It's just LSU elevates. They elevate for this game. They play Bama really tough. Tiger Stadium is electric. They impact the game. I expect it to be a real close game. And if they win it and win out, they're going to go to the playoff. Long way to go, but it's all there for them. Jared said the only thing that scares me is the fact that LSU has to play like that for every game for the rest of the season because they'll get everyone's best. Hey, man, you want to be elite? I understand your point, but if you want to be elite, that's what you get. I'd rather that than 8-4, or people like me picking 7-5. I'd rather Burrow making plays and Tracy making every kick, and Ensminger calling a great game, and you win by 20, over a number 2 team in the country, than not getting and sneaking up on teams and nipping them. Give me the front runner. What's up, Terrio? Huh? What's up, Terrio? Huh? Giles, man. Y'all gotta let go with Giles, bro. Damon Rando, no bias with Feinbaum. No, Damon. Paul Feinbaum doesn't it? Paul Feinbaum is from New York. He went to school at Tennessee, and he worked in Birmingham. He actually worked in Shreveport for a while. Do you think when Alabama sucked late in the Mike Dubose era, or with Dennis Franchione or Mike Shula, do you think people thought Feinbaum was a Bama homer when Auburn beat Bama 6 years in a row? Come on, man. No. Michael Cooper, sorry about the hate comment. It's Michael. It's okay. It was a great opportunity to educate, man. It's okay. Y'all can make Matt crack open a whiskey this morning. I'm good, man. Oh man. All right, we're about to bounce out of here, y'all. It's been a long morning. Let's see. Any more? Is Charles Alexander seasoning in Pensacola? I don't know, trivia. Well, Charles Alexander, if you're still watching, please answer Trivia's question. He said, can he get Come On Man Cajun seasoning in Pensacola? Ryan Chenevier, what's up? Hey Matt, where's your T-Bob signed gear? I assure you I have none. Hey Brittany Delahousse, good morning. Brian McCrary, good morning. Scone, point spread against State. LSU's probably a touchdown favorite. I think LSU will be a touchdown favorite against State. 6 or 7, right in that range. Brian, other than Lawrence and White, any juniors leaving early, I wouldn't be so sure on Rashard Lawrence, Ryan. I mean, I think they can make a strong case to get him to stick around. And Greedy, you left off Greedy, who's a sophomore but he's draft eligible. Bubba said Chase and Marshall had a lot of snaps this week. Should have happened weeks ago. I agree. And you know what, man? Jamar Chase. Marshall had 2 catches on LSU's second drive. It was really nice. They had Jamar Chase. Where is it? There it was. LSU's first possession of the second half. Burrow had Chase on a seam route wide open, and he overthrew him. Chase had a beautiful catch there yesterday. Every time they throw it at him, man, it makes plays. All right. I think Drew's got, is on the funny farm now. I hear him just, laughing at himself in there now. So we're going to wrap this up. We've been doing this for more than an hour. So, appreciate y'all so much. What a win by the Tigers, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome win for the Tigers. Tomorrow, of course, AFR, 3 o'clock. We'll look forward to that. Please go buy some Boudreaux's. Go to boudreauxmix.com if you do not live in the area. Boudreauxmix.com, boudreauxmix.com. Like their page. It's linked here on this video. It's a huge help. It's so easy. I'll just go tap on the Boudreaux's Mix, like their page, and go buy some. Fresh Market. They're probably not open right now, but maybe later. Are you so excited? He's giddy. All right. Y'all have anything? morningscone.com email. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe to the morningscone.com daily email. It is 100% free. No spam, no pop-ups, none of that stuff. You'll just get links to stories and other things interesting. Morningscone.com. Please go there and subscribe. That would be very helpful to me, too. Have an awesome day.